Paper 45. The Local System Administration. The administrative center of Satania consists of a cluster of architectural spheres, 57 in number, Jerusalem itself, the 7 major satellites, and the 49 sub-satellites. Jerusalem, the system capital, is almost 100 times the size of Urantia, although its gravity is a trifle less. Jerusalem's major satellites are the 7 transition worlds, each of which is about 10 times as large as Urantia, while the 7 sub-satellites of these transition spheres are just about the size of Urantia. The 7 mansion worlds are the 7 sub-satellites of transition world number 1. This entire system of 57 architectural worlds is independently lighted, heated, watered, and energized by the coordination of the Satania Power Center and the master physical controllers, in accordance with the established technique of the physical organization and arrangement of these specially created spheres. They are also physically cared for and otherwise maintained by the native Spornasia. 1. Transitional Culture Worlds. The 7 major worlds swinging around Jerusalem are generally known as the transition culture spheres. Their rulers are designated from time to time by the Jerusalem Supreme Executive Council. These spheres are numbered and named as follows. Number 1. The Finalator World. This is the headquarters of the Finalator Corps of the local system and is surrounded by the receiving worlds, the 7 mansion worlds, dedicated so fully to the scheme of mortal ascension. The Finalator world is accessible to the inhabitants of all 7 mansion worlds. Transport seraphim carry ascending personalities back and forth on these pilgrimages, which are designed to cultivate their faith in the ultimate destiny of transition mortals. Although the Finalators and their structures are not ordinarily perceptible to Urantia vision, you will be more than thrilled from time to time when the energy transformers and the Urantia power supervisors enable you momentarily to glimpse these high spirit personalities who have actually completed the Paradise Ascension and who have returned to the very worlds where you are beginning this long journey as the pledge of assurance that you may and can complete the stupendous undertaking. All mansion world sojourners go to the Finalator sphere at least once a year for these assemblies of Finalator visualization. Number 2. The Urantia world. This planet is the headquarters of the supervisors of Urantia life, and is surrounded by the 7 spheres whereon the Urantia chiefs train their associates and helpers, both Urantia beings and ascending mortals. In passing through the 7 mansion worlds, you will also progress through these cultural and social spheres of increasing Urantia contact. When you advance from the first to the 2nd mansion world, you will become eligible for a visitor's permit to Transitional Headquarters Number 2, the Urantia world, and so on. And when present on any one of these 6 cultural spheres, you may, on invitation, become a visitor and observer on any of the 7 surrounding worlds of associated group activities. Number 3. The Angelic World. This is the headquarters of all the seraphic hosts engaged in system activities and is surrounded by the 7 worlds of angelic training and instruction. These are the seraphic social spheres. Number 4. The Super Angel World. This sphere is the Satania home of the brilliant evening stars and a vast concourse of coordinate and near-coordinate beings. The 7 satellites of this world are assigned to the 7 major groups of these unnamed celestial beings. Number 5. The World of the Suns. This planet is the headquarters of the divine suns of all orders, including the creature trinitized suns. The surrounding 7 worlds are devoted to certain individual groupings of these divinely related suns. Number 6. The World of the Spirit. This sphere serves as the system rendezvous of the high personalities of the infinite spirit. Its 7 surrounding satellites are assigned to individual groups of these diverse orders. But on Transition World Number 6, there is no representation of the spirit. Neither is such a presence to be observed on the system capitals. The Divine Minister of Salvington is everywhere in Nebadon. Number 7. The World of the Father. This is the silent sphere of the system. No group of beings is domiciled on it. The great temple of light occupies a central place, but no one can be discerned therein. All beings of all the system worlds are welcomed as worshippers. The 7 satellites surrounding the Father's world are variously utilized in the different systems. In Satania they are now used as the detention spheres for the interned groups of the Lucifer Rebellion. The constellation capital, Urantia, has no analogous prison worlds. The few seraphim and cherubim who went over to the rebels in the Satania Rebellion have been long since confined on these isolation worlds of Jerusalem. As a sojourner on the 7th Mansion World, you have access to the 7th Transition World, the sphere of the Universal Father, and are also permitted to visit the Satania prison worlds surrounding this planet, whereon are now confined Lucifer and the majority of those personalities who followed him in rebellion against Michael. And this sad spectacle has been observable during these recent ages, and will continue to serve as a solemn warning to all Nebadon, until the Ancients of Days shall adjudicate the sin of Lucifer and his fallen associates, who rejected the salvation proffered by Michael, their universe father. 2. The System Sovereign. The chief executive of a local system of inhabited worlds is a primary Lananandek son, the System Sovereign. In our local universe, these sovereigns are entrusted with large executive responsibilities, unusual personal prerogatives. Not all universes, even in Orvanton, are so organized as to permit the system sovereigns to exercise such unusually wide powers of personal discretion in the direction of system affairs. But in all the history of Nebadon, these untrammeled executives have exhibited disloyalty only 3 times. The Lucifer Rebellion in the system of Satania was the last and the most widespread of all. In Satania, even after this disastrous upheaval, absolutely no changes have been made in the technique of system administration. The present system sovereign possesses all the power and exercises all the authority that were invested in his unworthy predecessor, except for certain matters now under the supervision of the Constellation Fathers, which the Ancients of Days have not yet fully restored to Lanaforge, the successor of Lucifer. The present head of Satania is a gracious and brilliant ruler, and he is a rebellion-tested sovereign. When serving as an assistant system sovereign, Lanaforge was faithful to Michael in an earlier upheaval in the universe of Nebadon. This mighty and brilliant Lord of Satania is a tried and tested administrator. At the time of the second system rebellion in Nebadon, when the system sovereign stumbled and fell into darkness, Lanaforge, the first assistant to the erring chief, seized the reins of government and so conducted the affairs of the system that comparatively few personalities were lost either on the headquarters worlds or on the inhabited planets of that unfortunate system. Lanaforge bears the distinction of being the only primary Lananandek son in all Nebadon who thus functioned loyally in the service of Michael and in the very presence of the default of his brother of superior authority and antecedent rank. Lanaforge will probably not be removed from Jerusalem until all the results of the former folly have been overcome and the products of rebellion removed from Satania. While all the affairs of the isolated worlds of Satania have not been returned to his jurisdiction, Lanaforge discloses great interest in their welfare, and he is a frequent visitor on Urantia. As in other and normal systems, the sovereign presides over the system council of world rulers, the planetary princes, and resident governors general of the isolated worlds. This planetary council assembles from time to time on the headquarters of the system, when the sons of God come together. Once a week, every 10 days on Jerusalem, the sovereign holds a conclave with some one group of the various orders of personalities domiciled on the headquarters world. These are the charmingly informal hours of Jerusalem, and they are never to be forgotten occasions. On Jerusalem there exists the utmost fraternity between all the various orders of beings, and between